Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Stay with me until the very end of this report because what I'm about to explain could quietly affect your money, your savings, and the future value of currencies many of you are watching closely. Today's update is not loud, not flashy, and not trending on mainstream headlines, but that's exactly why it matters. Right now in 2026, the US Treasury is making unusual moves behind the scenes, moves that usually only happen when officials are preparing for serious financial stress. There is no public announcement, no emergency press conference, and no official warning for everyday people. Yet inside the system, something has clearly changed. This matters deeply for anyone following global currency shifts, especially holders of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese dong. When the world's largest financial authority quietly adjusts its internal systems, history shows that currency realignments, liquidity changes, and market resets often follow. This is not fear talk and this is not hype. This is about understanding patterns, timing, and why silence from major institutions is sometimes louder than headlines. By the end of this video, you'll understand what this quiet emergency mode could mean, why dinar and dong holders should pay attention right now, and how to stay informed without panic. Over the past several weeks, financial observers have noticed subtle but meaningful changes in how the U.S. Treasury is operating. These are not policy announcements meant for public consumption. Instead, they involve internal procedures, cash flow management, and contingency planning that only becomes visible when stress is anticipated. The Treasury appears to be strengthening liquidity access, reviewing emergency authorities, and preparing for rapid response financial actions if needed. This does not automatically mean a crash is coming tomorrow. What it does mean is that officials are preparing for uncertainty. Historically, when the Treasury moves this way, it often aligns with upcoming changes in debt markets, global currency pressures, or international financial coordination. This is important for currency watchers, because such preparations often come before adjustments in exchange systems, settlement mechanisms, and cross-border financial rules. When the United States prepares quietly, it usually does so knowing that global markets will react once changes begin to surface. For dinar and dong holders, this is not background noise. It is a signal that the financial environment may be entering a transition phase where currencies tied to reform, restructuring, or modernization could see movement faster than expected. One reason this situation stands out is the lack of public explanation. Normally, when financial authorities act, they communicate clearly to calm markets. Silence, however, often indicates preparation rather than response. This quiet approach suggests officials want flexibility without creating panic. They may be preparing for market volatility, global debt stress, or currency rebalancing pressures that could emerge quickly. For years, many emerging market currencies have been waiting on global financial normalization, especially those tied to economic reform, trade expansion, and modernization of banking systems. Iraq and Vietnam both fall into that category. When major systems brace for instability, they often also prepare for opportunity, resetting outdated mechanisms and adjusting how value flows internationally. This is why dinar and dong holders should not dismiss this update as just another US-only issue. Global finance is interconnected. When the center prepares, the edges move. The question is not whether change is coming, but how prepared individuals are to understand it when it happens. Another key detail is how these Treasury actions connect to international settlement systems. In recent years, global finance has been moving toward faster payments, cleaner balance sheets, and reduced systemic risk. Quiet emergency preparations often involve stress testing settlement pipelines and currency liquidity channels. This matters because currencies like the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong are often discussed in the context of modernization and reintegration into global trade frameworks. When financial systems prepare for shocks, they also prepare for recalibration. That recalibration can involve adjusting exchange structures, updating valuation models, and aligning currencies more realistically with economic output. No one can promise a specific outcome or date, but history shows that financial stress periods are often when long-delayed adjustments finally occur. This is why watching institutional behavior is more important than listening to rumors. Quiet moves from powerful financial bodies often precede visible change. For dinar holders specifically, this moment deserves attention. Iraq has spent years working through internal reforms, improving fiscal controls, and expanding its role in regional trade. Any global shift that changes how money flows, how reserves are managed, or how currencies are settled internationally could intersect with Iraq's progress. When the Treasury prepares for instability, it often coordinates with international partners, banks, and institutions. That coordination can open doors for currencies that are better prepared than they were in the past. The same logic applies to the Vietnamese dong. Vietnam continues to expand manufacturing, trade relationships, and financial infrastructure. In times of global transition, currencies tied to real economic growth often attract renewed focus. This does not mean overnight riches. It means movement becomes possible in ways that were previously stalled. It is also important to talk about what this does not mean. Quiet emergency mode does not automatically mean a collapse is coming. It does not mean people should panic, sell everything, or make emotional decisions. Financial authorities plan for worst-case scenarios so they can prevent them. Preparation is not failure, it is risk management. The danger for everyday people is not preparation by institutions, but ignorance of why it happens. Those who ignore signals often react too late. Those who stay informed can stay calm and flexible. For currency holders, this is about awareness, not action for action's sake. Understanding timing, watching official behavior, and avoiding hype is the smartest approach right now. Another point many overlook is how global uncertainty often speeds up decisions that were already planned. Financial reforms that take years during stable periods can move quickly during stress. Systems that were almost ready suddenly become necessary. For dinar and dong holders, this matters because many reform narratives depend on timing rather than intention. When large systems shift, smaller systems adapt. That adaptation can bring visibility to currencies that were previously sidelined. Again, there are no guarantees, but history favors those who pay attention during quiet moments rather than loud ones. Let's also address personal financial readiness. Regardless of currency holdings, this is a moment to focus on stability. Reducing unnecessary debt, keeping emergency savings, and understanding where your money is exposed are basic but powerful steps. You don't need to make extreme moves. You need clarity. Financial uncertainty rewards preparation, not panic. Even small adjustments can provide peace of mind. This applies whether you hold dinar, dong, or none at all. The goal is resilience. As we move deeper into 2026, the financial world continues to change faster than many expect. Digital systems, new settlement frameworks, and shifting global power structures are all part of this picture. Quiet Treasury preparation fits into that larger story. It suggests awareness at the highest levels that the old ways may not fully handle what's ahead. When systems evolve, currency relationships evolve too. This is why long-term watchers remain patient but alert. The most important takeaway today is simple. Silence from major institutions does not mean nothing is happening. Often, it means everything is being prepared quietly. For dinar and dong holders, this is a reminder to stay informed, grounded, and realistic. Avoid extreme claims, ignore fear-based messaging, and watch what institutions do, not what influencers promise. History rewards those who understand cycles. In closing, the Treasury's quiet shift into emergency readiness is a meaningful signal in 2026. It does not tell us exactly what will happen next, but it tells us change is being planned for. For currency watchers, especially those following the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong, this is a moment to pay attention without panic. Stay calm, stay informed, and stay patient. We will continue to watch developments closely and bring you updates as the situation evolves. Make sure you're subscribed, keep notifications on, And as always, stay safe, stay grounded, and stay prepared.